Right now, while your child is playing, napping, or eating breakfast, their brain is making a choice. It's deciding which connections to keep and which ones to let go. This isn't something that happens occasionally, it's happening every single day, in every interaction, in every routine. The 6 daily habits that actually shape brain architecture are so embedded in ordinary life that most parents walk right past them. In fact, the 4th habit is something you've probably been told not to do, but neuroscience shows it's one of the most critical windows for development. Before we continue, tell me in the comments, how old is your little one? Knowing their age helps us keep these tips relevant to your stage of parenting. Habit 1, name the emotion before solving the problem. Your toddler is melting down because their banana broke in half. Every parent knows this moment. Your first instinct is to fix it immediately, grab another banana, offer a distraction, explain that broken bananas taste exactly the same. But here's what most of us miss: when we rush straight to the solution, we accidentally skip the most important part. What your child's brain actually needs in that moment is for you to name what they're feeling before you do anything else. Not solve it. Not minimize it. Just reflect it back. You're so upset that banana broke. You wanted it whole. That's it. 3 seconds. But in those 3 seconds, something remarkable happens in their brain. You're activating the prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for eventually managing big emotions. You're building a bridge between their emotional brain and their thinking brain. When you label feelings consistently, you're teaching their nervous system that emotions aren't emergencies to escape, they're information to notice. Over time, your voice becomes their inner voice. The one that says, "I'm frustrated," instead of just screaming. You don't need to be perfect at this. Even catching it half the time creates those pathways. The next time they're upset, pause for just a moment. Name it. Then comfort or solve. That sequence matters more than you think. Habit 2, repeat their day back at bedtime. This one happens in those final minutes before sleep, and most of us rush right past it. After teeth are brushed and pajamas are on, instead of diving straight into a bedtime story, take just 2 minutes to walk through their day out loud. Not in vague terms like, "We had a nice day," but in specific, sensory details. This morning you picked the striped shirt. We saw the yellow bus on the way to the store. You stacked the blocks really high. Then we had spaghetti for dinner and you got sauce on your nose. It feels almost too simple to matter, but here's what's happening beneath the surface. That window between waking and sleeping is when the hippocampus, your child's memory center, is actively organizing everything that happened. When you narrate their experiences back to them, you're not just recapping, you're helping their brain file those moments into long-term storage. You're teaching them that their life has continuity, that what happened this morning connects to what's happening now. Habit 3, let them see you struggle and recover. You're making dinner and a pot slips from your hand and clatters to the floor. In that split second, you have a choice most of us don't even realize we're making. You could stay silent, clean it up quickly, and move on like nothing happened. Or you could do something that feels almost unnatural but is incredibly powerful, narrate what's happening inside you. Ugh, that was frustrating. Okay. I'm going to take a breath and try again. We've been taught that good parenting means projecting calm and competence at all times. That our kids need to see us as unshakable. But here's what neuroscience shows: children don't learn emotional regulation from watching you be perfect. They learn it from watching you recover. When your child sees you name frustration out loud, pause, and then shift your response, something remarkable happens in their brain. Mirror neurons fire. They're not just observing your behavior, they're internally simulating it, downloading the exact sequence you just modeled. Habit 4, stop narrating their play. This is the counterintuitive one I mentioned at the beginning. Your child is on the floor stacking blocks. One on top of the other, carefully balancing each piece. And your instinct, because you're a good parent, is to enhance the moment. Wow, that's getting so tall. Are you going to add the blue one next? Oh, look out, it's wobbling. But here's what most of us don't realize: sometimes the most supportive thing you can do is sit nearby and say absolutely nothing. We've been conditioned to believe that engaged parenting means constant interaction, narrating every move, asking questions, offering encouragement. But when we talk during their play, we're actually pulling them out of the exact brain state that builds deep focus and intrinsic motivation. It's called the default mode network, and it only activates when external input stops. This is the state where imagination happens, where problem-solving unfolds, where your child learns to direct their own attention without needing you to guide it. Every time you comment, you're interrupting that process. Not because your words are harmful, but because they shift their focus from internal to external. From, "What do I think?" to, "What does mom think?" So here's the shift: sit where they can see you if they need you, but let them play without your commentary. Habit 5, give 2 choices, not unlimited freedom. It's morning and you need to get out the door. You ask, "What do you want for breakfast?" and suddenly you're in a negotiation that spirals into a meltdown. Or you open the closet and say, "What do you want to wear today?" and 20 minutes later you're still standing there while your child pulls out every single shirt they own. We do this because we think we're honoring their autonomy, giving them control. But here's what actually happens in their brain: too many options overwhelm the prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for decision-making. The result isn't empowerment. It's paralysis. Young children don't have the neural wiring yet to sift through unlimited possibilities and land on a choice without feeling flooded. But when you offer 2 options, something shifts. Do you want toast or yogurt? Do you want the striped shirt or the blue one? Suddenly, the decision becomes manageable. Their brain can hold both options, weigh them, and pick one. And when they successfully make that choice, they get a small hit of dopamine, the neurochemical that says, "I did it." That feeling, repeated over time, becomes confidence. It becomes the foundation of executive function. So offer 2 things you're genuinely fine with either way. Let them choose. And if they say, neither, or try to negotiate for a third option, calmly pick one and keep moving. You're not being rigid. You're teaching them that decision-making has boundaries, and that's what makes it possible. Habit 6, end the day with 3 things, not just, "I love you." The lights are off, your child is tucked in, and you lean down to say goodnight. Most of us say some version of, "I love you, sleep well," and that's it. And that's beautiful. But you're missing a chance to do something that takes 30 seconds and fundamentally shapes how your child sees themselves. Before you leave the room, tell them 3 specific things. Something you noticed. Something they did. Something you're looking forward to tomorrow. I noticed you were really gentle when you touched the baby's hand today. You put your blocks away without me asking. Tomorrow we're going to the library and I think you'll love the new books they have. It doesn't need to be profound. It just needs to be specific. Because here's what happens when you do this consistently: you're activating the medial prefrontal cortex, the part of their brain responsible for building a sense of self. When you reflect back what you saw them do, you're helping them construct a coherent identity. Not based on what they should be, but based on who they actually are. Kids who receive this kind of specific reflection develop something critical: intrinsic motivation. They start to see themselves as capable, thoughtful, effective people, not because you told them they were good, but because you showed them the evidence. So let's recap. 6 small habits that reshape your child's brain. Name the emotion before solving the problem. Repeat their day back at bedtime. Let them see you struggle and recover. Stop narrating their play. Give 2 choices, not unlimited freedom. End the day with 3 specific reflections. What's one thing you're going to try with your child after watching this? Let me know in the comments. If you found these helpful, consider subscribing for more science-backed ways to support your child's growth. You've got this.